Hmm. Hello, 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 hello. My name is Breezy. This is Southern Grace and Sass. Did I just do peace signs? Yes. Am I a complete idiot? Probably. But here we are. Today this is episode 33, and today's episode is gonna be a little bit different. It's gonna be a very serious one that's very near to me. And you're wondering what I'm talking about. Crossing that threshold from victim to survivor. Um, so as you know, it is April and it's sexual assault awareness month. Um, and I say this because I am a survivor of sexual assault. Once as a child, and from being a child and from being an adult. And I'll get into my story a little bit later. But if you're new here, hit that like button, ring that bell for notifications. Also, please subscribe, help a girl out. Yeah. Today is April 10th, 2026 at the time of this recording. Um, so this is gonna be a pre-recorded episode for next week because I do not know what my schedule will be like yet. But with that being said, National Sexual Assault, um, National Sexual Assault Online Hotline is at 1-800-656-HOPE. And it offers free, confidential, and secure help for 24/7. If you or someone if you need someone to talk to or help with pressing charges or understanding your healing process, give them a call. They'll be happy to help you. And they won't and I want you to know something too. Go to a trusted adult. Go to someone you trust for help. Even if it feels like they won't be able to understand what you're going through, they want to try to help as much as they can. And that's the thing too about this month. I really want to try to encourage anybody watching this. If you're a if you've experienced this not and become a victim of sexual abuse and assault, then I want take this time to educate yourself, learn what to look for. And here's the thing: not all victims and survivors are the same. Our grieving timeline is very different from everyone else. But there's a song by Raylan called "It's Happening Right Here," and I want to talk about that for a second. Um, and when I first heard this song, it truly resonated with me because as someone who has lived this, when you it speaks about it, and I want you to hear what I'm talking about. But in verse 1 it goes, "Sometimes it's hard to see it if you don't know what you're looking for." Also, this might be a trigger warning episode, just a heads up. Just a heads up. Um, it's easier believing it don't happen in a town like yours, 'cause church bells ring on Sunday, and there's 9 to 5s and baseball games, and if no one talks about it, then no one has to say. Mm. Yeah, but and the chorus goes, "It's happening right here. It's happening right now. Once you turn the light on, you just can't turn it off. It's behind the door, just up the street, down the hall, on a cell phone screen. It's a wake-up call for us all in the mirror, and it's happening right here." And the thing is, we really do need to know this is happening all the time, even when we don't want to admit it. I know it was a stigma at one point, but thankfully we're in a generation where it's not a stigma anymore. But anyway, verse 2 goes, "It's a mom and dad's worst nightmare that they don't ever wake up from. All the sleepless nights, the howls and whines, and the what we could have done. It's an all too real conversation we don't want to have to make. Have too late. We can start to make a difference by standing up to say," and it just repeats the chorus. And here's the verse 3. "'Cause power wins when silence breaks. So, for every son and daughter's sake, a few simple words just might save a life. So, we gotta talk, we've gotta try, and we've gotta fight. And the chorus goes, it's happening right here, it's happening right now. Once you turn the light on, we can't drive the darkness out. It's behind the wall, up the street, down the hall, on a cell phone screen. It's a wake up call for us all in the mirror. It's happening right here. So, as you can tell, this episode is going to be it's a little hard for me to get through. And as much therapy as I have, you never fully leave it. And like I said, having victims to crosses that threshold from victim to survivor at their own timeline. It's not a guarantee, and there's so many stereotypes behind it. But here's the thing about April. It is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, or SAME, and this is dedicated to survivors, educating the communities, and preventing violence. And some things we can do to take action is wear teal. That is the color for color awareness on April 7th. Hopefully you did. Participating on Denim Day, April 29th, to protest victim blaming, and sharing educational resources on social media and supporting local advocacy organizations. Now, you're probably wondering, how can you help someone? Or how can you help, okay? Well, this past April 7th has passed, and you can wear teal, and I hope you did, because any sort of like teal clothing, ribbons, accessories, and this will spark like conversations to show solidarity with survivors. Also, Denim Day is coming up April 29th, and wear jeans to honor the ruling that has highlighted victim blamings to protest sexual violence. Thankfully, thankfully this isn't a stigma anymore, but some people still treat it like it is. And I know you're probably saying, "Oh, another person claiming to be sexual assaulted." We're not making this up. I get there's some cases where there are some people who do make it up, but most of us who actually mean it, we're not making this up. And a lot of us come ready when we're ready to come forward. Um, then there's social media action that we can take. We can use hashtag SANE2026, hashtag WearTeal, hashtag Denim Day, and we can share infographics and educational resources, even support local pages. Look in your so how about think about it. Look in okay, based off the town where you live, look at support your local organizations. I think here in Coleman we have a few. There's places everywhere you can go try to support, and you can donate or volunteer with local rape crisis centers, domestic violence shelters, or national organizations like RAIN. We can also learn to educate ourselves on consent. And I said this before, silence does not mean no. Silence does not mean yes. Let me rephrase that. Silence does not mean yes. You promoting and understanding understanding of consent, and healthy relations prevents violence before it happens. You can even attend events, even virtually, at local webinars, marches, and awareness events hosted by advocacy groups as well. What are some focus areas? You can start by believing. I know there are some people who make it difficult, but guys, this is something nobody ever wants to go through. And most of us we try to pretend it doesn't happen because we don't want no one finding out our treating us different. We don't want people, and we fear people won't believe us. That's the thing. But how can you help? Well, you can start by believing. Promote message that survivors will be supported and believed, which is crucial for engaging and reporting and healing. There's online safety. Focus on preventing technology facilitated abuse. And this is not really surprisingly become a growing concern. And you can build safer online communities. Protect the children, guys. I believe children need to stay children as long as they can. Let's not make them grow up fast. And when people do stuff like that to them, it takes something away. It makes them have to grow up fast. Something they shouldn't have to do. And children need to be children, guys. You can also participate in local events. Participate in events that prevent child sexual abuse, such as wearing blue and using hashtag Pinky Promise. There's ways you can help. You just really gotta want to. Um, but yeah. But if you or someone you know has been affected by sexual assault, help is available. Please contact the National Sexual Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-HOPE or via chat online. Look, as I said earlier, when I was younger, I was sexually abused and everything, and as a child, and when I became an adult in my early 20s. For the longest time, I did not want to even admit that something like that happened to me and call myself a victim. Because I thought by calling myself a victim, that would mean that it happened to me, something was wrong with me. It took me a long time to accept that what happened wasn't my fault. And and that was the person's fault. It is not the victim's fault. It is the perpetrator's fault. They know what they're doing, and they can't claim stuff like that. Mental abuse, they can't claim mental problems, nothing like that. And yet, most of the time, it goes unreported most of the time. So we need to turn a light on stuff like this. And we need to start by knowing, like, the statute of limitations in our state. Um, like, stuff like that. Reach out to organizations, be a helping hand, because you never know what someone is going through. But yeah, thank you all for watching this very triggering episode for me. But I'll see y'all next time as we talk about, I don't forget what we're talking about, but yeah. But here's the question, what's your note to self? I think that's the episode we're talking about.